This is coming to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona. Below the Mogollon Rim, an original story of the Old Southwest in northern Arizona, based on history. In Arizona, in the late 1800s, it was a lawless frontier country and was 50 miles to the nearest larger town, Prescott, Arizona. The Verde Valley is below the Mogollon Rim in northern Arizona and was a haven for the outlaws of all kinds, cattle rustlers, robbers, and gunmen. One of the worst was a man called Quirt Evans. He went by the name Bad Man. And he would do anything for a gold coin.
Take to the outsider, Dan.
He would go so far as to rustle cattle from the cattle rustlers.
It's a horse like Quirt Evans.
Yeah, that's just who it is.
Next time we're face to face.
Yeah, I know. Why don't you light out in those new boots and see if you can run him down?
The rustlers found out that it was a long walk back to town on foot.
You know, this champagne may be a lot fancier than whiskey, but it sure don't give quick action.
To tell you the truth, I don't really like it. It's very fashionable. How do you like it, Lila?
Tickle's going down, and it's expensive.
The bad men, or outlaws, spent most of their time drinking and gambling and womanizing.
Not a chance, baby. You're never aboard.
I wish I had that in writing. You know, it's been a long time since you told me that my hair reminded you of corn silk.
All right. Your hair reminds me of corn silk.
Oh, gold and tawny.
That's right. All gold and tawny.
You've changed. You're less romantic and a lot more absent-minded.
Take a turn at the wheel. Win yourself a farm in Kansas.
I don't want a farm in Kansas.
All right, I'll win you a trip around the world.
Miss Neal, the customers are waiting, and that's no way to treat customers.
5 out and on the red.
Give me a stack of blues.
There's something in your eyes a little bit different, something that appeals to me. I love the way they change from angel to devil, always full of mystery. There's something in your smile a little bit different, something I've been looking for. If I could just be sure that you're on the level, I would never ask for more. I got a funny little feeling the first time we met.
17 odd and black.
17. There goes the last button on my shirt.
All right, buddy, you gonna let it ride? On or off of 17?
Cash me in.
There's something in your kiss a
Place your bets.
little bit different, something that I never knew. In every way, you're just a little bit different. That's why I love you.
Thanks for the money, Daddy. I hope you don't think I was hitting.
Bourbon, large glass.
Hey, there's plenty of room on either side. Do you have to come bulling in here between us?
I didn't see you.
You interrupted a very important discussion on serious matters regarding big things. Me and my brothers don't like it.
Gentlemen, no trouble, please. We just put the place back together after the last difference of opinion. Gentlemen, what with the breakage and the overhead, mainly the breakage, I've had a dreadful time keeping body and soul together.
If what I think is going to happen happens, it'll round out a full day.
There's your trip.
What's eating you, tall man?
Did you have words with those Baker brothers?
Who?
Those 4 rhinos.
No.
It's told around they're quarrelsome citizens.
Gentlemen, let's consider the incident closed. Watch our tempers.
Maybe I ought to go apologize. More whiskey.
Come, gentlemen, let's act like this.
I'll be right back, I hope.
Where you been?
Oh, Randy's always on point.
Gentlemen, you don't know what you're doing to me. Please, I got a large family.
Hey, wait a minute, it's me!
You go ahead, get in there. Watch out for that chair. That's my old friend, Muley. Come on, Muley, get in. Come on and get hold of it. Get into that, Muley. Come on. Muley, get in. Now, tie it up. Go on, keep after him. You got him. Now you got him. That's fine, Muley.
Thanks. I must have hit the wrong man.
Oh, hey, you did, you.
Hey, Bert. Sorry, Court. How you doing? Don't worry about me. Come on. You wait outside and kick them and count them as we throw them out. Don't count.
Oh, honey, I was so afraid you'd get hurt.
And I'll never see my darling anymore. Oh, I'm sitting by the river and I'm weeping over day. From the old Kentucky shore. Oh, it's wonderful. We got money and whiskey and lovely ladies. Just had a beautiful fight. I tell you, we really ought to be thankful for our blessings.
Ah, you've been reading that Bible again.
That's something I never thought I'd see.
What?
A Bible with your name on it. Now, where would you get a Bible?
Quart! Well, Randy, stop him.
With what?
Where's he going? Has he forgotten something?
Quirt Evans had been shot and thrown out of town, and he was on the run from the law. There were a few good God-believing people that had come west from the eastern part of the United States to escape the persecution for their beliefs, mainly Quakers and Mormons. This is the story of one of these families and the bad man below the Mogollon Rim.
Give me that horse.
He couldn't go on. Nor could you. You're injured, man. Let us take you in the house.
I gotta go.
And it was love at first sight.
Never get that bullet out with him kicking around like that. I'm afraid to give him any more sedative. He's already had enough.
Please be quiet. The doctor's...
He can't hear you. What do you suppose that delirious mind is searching for?
He must be in great pain.
Not with that much laudanum in him. It's as if he were reaching for something. Something specific. I don't understand it. By now, he should be completely inert.
I didn't think... No. All right. All right. All right.
Oh, Thomas, how's the young man?
Delirious.
A gun in this house, Thomas?
Let me put these back in the gun belt.
Maybe we'll have to get something and tie him down. Are you crazy?
It's empty.
So that was it. A gun.
It's a pity.
It's stupid. These wild ones, I keep picking bullets out of them and setting their bones. Why? It's their destiny to wind up on Boot Hill.
No.
Oh, I forgot. Never speak evil, huh? Well, get me some more hot water, young lady, and we'll start patching him up for whatever's in store for him. Come on, help me with this boot.
Mother? Hmm? Tell me again. What, dear? Oh, about meeting Father?
Oh, we've heard that 1,000 times.
He was working on the roof of the new meeting house. He fell off, and I picked him out of the dust and held him in my arms. He always said I hugged him before I ever even knew his name.
And they both knew right away?
Of course. Of course, I knew he was a peaceful man. Of course, I knew he was a peaceful man, a member of the society. An evil man would seek a more profitable way of life than being a member of the Friends.
Father had a beard then, didn't he?
Yes.
I should think that would scratch. I prefer a man clean-shaven.
He's got the constitution of a mountain lion. He'll pull through, barring blood poisoning. These wild ones never seem to get blood poisoning, though it's common enough among the godly.
You so-called atheists. You always feel so compelled to stretch your godlessness.
Wash him. The bullet's out. He's in no danger.
I bet he killed a lot of people.
No, he didn't.
How does he know?
That's enough, John. A friend doesn't speak of such things.
Mrs. Worth, get that man out of here.
But he's badly injured, Doctor.
This isn't civilized Pennsylvania. This is a raw frontier. You must take a realistic attitude. This is a place where mayhem, theft, and murder are the commonplace instead of the unusual.
Would that justify leaving a wounded man to die?
Build your house by the side of the road and be a friend to man. Ye who believe.
I don't mind your mocking. You've been a good friend to us.
I'm glad I have a logical mind.
And a good heart. Good night, Doctor.
Good night.
Still having delirious spells. Keeps mumbling about his past.
Get him.
I'm afraid he's had a very violent life.
Cards. Copper on my bet on the black ace. Now, you're a shapely hussy. You got real confirmation, Margaret. Huh? You fill out that dress just right. Red's your color. All right, Margaret. Chart 1089. 1089. Margaret, you're a nuisance. Let's call it off, Margaret. Yeah, I got places to go and country to put behind me. Sure, all right. Lila. Lila. Oh, Lila. Lila. If I owned a mint, I'd put your head on every coin. I used to smoke corn silk when I was a kid. Your hair's just like it, Lila. Light brown, yellow all mixed up. Just like corn silk, Lila. All gold, torn.
Will you bring some hot coffee, Penny? The doctor says he's completely out of danger. Just sleeping. You know, Dr. Penny considers him her own personal patient. Sit down. And will you bring some milk, dear? And when you finish, you can go up and watch him while you card your wool on the loom.
He doesn't need watching. He's had no temperature these past few days. Just a superlatively healthy animal, restoring his depleted strength with sleep. He's no longer delirious. But of course, if you're determined to watch over him, Penny, perhaps you'd better take a pencil and paper with you. His first conscious words should be recorded. They may be of great interest to history. Or more possibly to a United States Marshal. Who knows what violence is involved with his battered frame and his bullet holes.
Would you care for a donut, Doctor? They're not as light as they should
Listen,
be.
Mrs. Worth, you can carry this head-in-the-sand attitude just so far in a world of reality. Let me get this man out of your house. I can dump him in the establishment that passes for a hotel in this oft-times dubious community of ours.
In that unsanitary hovel?
Then he'll be off your hands.
But he's much better off here.
Of course he is, but who cares what happens to him?
We do.
I don't know what to say. Once, when I was studying medicine in Europe, I had a friend, an artist. He drew portraits of people and made them resemble the animals they reminded him of. He'd have drawn this man as a coiled cobra.
Oh, Doctor, your analogy's terribly imperfect, and your naturalism faulty. Cobras don't coil. Oh, but Doctor, we're so fond of you, and we respect you so greatly. We're sure that you will finally realize that realism, untempered by sentiment and humanity, is really just a mean, hard, cold outlook on life. A frightened outlook.
I stand defeated. And furthermore, there are times in this house when I feel as if I were living in a never-never land. But don't hesitate to call on me anytime you need help.
Hello?
You're awake.
Sure. I'm awake. What is all this?
What?
Where am I?
Oh, don't you remember? Father and I drove you into town. Is anything wrong?
No.
The doctor says you'll be all right in a week or two. You were delirious, you know. 2 days and 2 nights.
Well, maybe that's why I'm so hungry. I could eat a yearling steer. If I could catch one.
Oh, well, we'll get you something. Mother! You talked a lot in your delirium. Mother, he's awake.
How is he?
Hungry.
Oh, if he's hungry, he's going to be all right.
Thanks a lot for housing me.
You're welcome. Smoked sausage and eggs?
Sounds great.
2 eggs, or would you like 3?
I'd like 6.
Oh, you shall have them. Penny, get one of Father's shirts and a razor. I'll get him some food.
So I talked a lot.
Yes. I listened only because I thought you might say something that would aid us in helping you. As to notifying your wife, for instance.
What did I say?
If you had a wife.
What did I talk about?
Well, you talked of Margaret. She filled out a red dress.
What else?
Oh, you mentioned someone named, Lila?
That all?
If you have a wife, we could notify her.
No wife.
That's 12. I haven't been so flattered since my donuts won first prize at the fair back in Pennsylvania.
They must be smart in Pennsylvania.
Some of the members thought it an exhibition of pride to enter my donuts. But what harm can there be in a little donut? Unless one eats so many of them that they explode, which is likely to happen to you, young man.
Well, there's worse ways of checking up.
I'll help you with the dish. No. You stay and watch Quirt Evans. I'm curious to know the effect of 6 eggs, a pound of sausage, and 12 donuts. I'll call Lee in time for the milking.
Do all you people from Pennsylvania talk like that?
Like what?
Thee?
Oh, well, we're friends.
Friends of who?
Of all. A society of friends. Many people call us Quakers.
Oh, it's a religion.
It's a belief.
That on the wall. Each human being has an integrity that can be hurt only by the act of that same human being, and not by the act of another human being. Is that Quaker stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You mean nobody can hurt you but yourself?
That's a friend's belief.
Well, supposing somebody whacks you over the head with a branding iron. Won't that hurt?
Physically, of course. But in reality, it would injure only the person doing the act of force or violence. Only the doer can be hurt by a mean or evil act.
Are there very many of you Quakers?
Very few.
Sort of figured that.
Meanwhile, back in the little town of Sedona, one of the worst gangs were hunting all over trying to find Quirt Evans. And we're asking everyone in town to help them find him.
Thanks for sewing the shirt. But I can't find my pants.
Get back in bed.
Oh, laziness is the only thing that's kept me there this long.
The doctor says you're to stay in bed 4 more days.
Howdy, Quirt. Oh, you're up.
That's no way to speak to an older person, John.
Well, we're pals. You wouldn't expect a pal to call me mister, would you?
See, Dr. Mangrum says to tell you some men in town were looking for you. Says one of the men was a Mr. Laredo Stevens.
Get my pants.
But your leg.
Johnny, get me my pants.
No, John.
Will he get my pants?
Get the pants, John.
What you said.
What are you looking at?
The.
Oh, boy, it's a good thing I'm not a tattletale.
What's that hymn on?
They use the familiar in speaking to me.
The what?
The familiar. The plain language. Get thee my pants, they said.
Well, what about it?
Well, among us, thee and thou are used only to loved ones. To all others, we use you and he and they. Mother to children, husband to wife, and children to... Between lovers, of course.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not.
What?
I'm not. I wish thee to speak so to me.
Well.
I knew right away, that night.
This must be a kind of a dull life. I could take you a lot of places.
I'd go.
What?
I'd rather stay here with thee, but if you'd rather go someplace else, then I'll go someplace else. It must sound very bold.
Well, it's just that I didn't think religious people were quite so sudden and direct.
Well, it's the way I feel, and it'd be dishonest to say anything else.
Yeah.
I used to wonder about it. I suppose every girl does.
About what?
Oh, about love. About whether as you got to know someone, you fell in love little by little, or it happened all at once. They are shocked.
Well, I wouldn't say shocked exactly, but you sure get to the point.
Should I be different?
No, Penny, I like you just the way you are. Who emptied this gun?
Father. Quirt, a gun is a symbol of force, of evil. We never had one in our homes. It was a concession that Father allowed even an empty one. It was only because you couldn't rest without
Where are
it.
the cartridges?